During a recent meeting at the company, my boss brought up a mistake in our project. The atmosphere became quite tense. One of my teammates felt wronged and reacted very strongly. He raised his voice, clearly upset, saying that he had stayed up until 2 inches the morning to work on it, that the mistake was caused by the accounting department sending the data late, and that the boss should not be putting all the blame on his team. That only made the boss even angrier. He said that he paid us to solve problems, not to listen to excuses and get talked back to like that. At that point, I tried to stay as calm as I could. I said that I acknowledged the mistake and would go over everything, fix it, and resubmit the project by the next morning. Only then did the tension in the room ease up. The boss also calmed down, and we were given more time to redo the work. And if you often find yourself in situations like that when it is hard to control your emotions after being called out, provoked, or blamed when just hearing one sentence makes your body heat up, your heart race, and your mouth want to snap back immediately, only to regret it right after. This video will help you stay calm in any situation, even when someone is deliberately trying to push your buttons. Let us get started right now. Number 1. What really happens in the body when you get triggered? Emotions come before logic. Let us go back to that meeting at my company. Right after the boss pointed out the mistake in front of everyone, my coworker snapped almost instantly. That is because when someone is criticized in public, the brain often interprets it as a kind of social threat. In psychology, this is called a social evaluative threat, which means I am being judged, I am being seen as less competent, or I am losing face in front of others. When the brain picks up that signal, the body kicks into fight or flight mode. This is a survival response. Fight means to strike back, and flight means to escape. This response is designed to help you survive danger. So, the body increases heart rate to pump blood faster. Your face heats up as your system gets activated. Your muscles tense up, preparing to act. Your breathing gets shallow. Your voice automatically becomes louder and sharper. And in that moment, something crucial happens. Many studies call this the amygdala hijack. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for detecting threats and triggering strong emotions. Hijack means it takes control. So your emotions grab the wheel before your rational thinking even gets a chance to step in. That is why my coworker did not think along the lines of, "What is the fastest way to fix this?" His brain shifted to, "I have to defend myself right now." That is why he started explaining, blaming, arguing about right and wrong, trying to prove how hard he worked. Saying those things gave him a quick sense of restoring pride, but in the meeting, it came off as arguing or shifting blame, which only made the boss angrier and escalated the situation. In short, when your body is in fight or flight and you are experiencing an amygdala hijack, reacting immediately usually does not mean you are truly facing the situation. You are just reacting defensively. The first step to staying calm is recognizing that moment and pulling back control before saying the next thing. Number 2. Pause does not mean you are avoiding the issue. Remember that company meeting? Right after the boss called out the mistake, my coworker shot back immediately. His voice went up. He spoke rapidly, gave excuses, blamed another department. The meeting shifted from fixing the issue to arguing who's at fault. And the more he spoke, the angrier the boss became. If he had just done one very small thing, the whole situation could have gone differently. He just needed to pause for a few seconds before responding. Pause here does not mean shutting down or walking away from the issue. It is an intentional delay, just 5 to 10 seconds to break the impulsive reaction. Look down at your notes. Jot something quickly. Take a sip of water. Take 1 or 2 slow breaths. Then say a short anchoring phrase to keep the meeting on track without making it worse, like, "I hear you. Give me 30 seconds to review." Or, "Okay, let me lock down the next steps." You are still addressing the problem, but not letting your heated body do the talking. The psychology behind this is clear. When criticized in front of others, the brain reads it as a social threat. I am being judged. I am being embarrassed. So your body activates fight or flight. Fast heartbeat, hot face, tight muscles, shallow breath, sharper voice. This is the amygdala hijack again. Your emotions take over before your logic can step in. In that state, you spee. During a recent meeting at the company, my boss brought up a mistake in our project. Number 3. On-the-spot cooling techniques. There is a middle-aged woman at my company who really enjoys making snide comments about others. One time, she talked behind my back and said something like, "Knows just a little but acts all high and mighty." But I always ignored it, and every time something like that happened, I just chose to take a deep breath and remind myself there was no need to blow things out of proportion. From a psychological perspective, this is called an on-the-spot cooling technique. Because when you are provoked, your body easily jumps into defense mode. Heart races, muscles tense up, voice sharpens, and if you speak right away, it is usually a reflex. Slow, rhythmic breathing, especially when the exhale is longer than the inhale, has been proven in multiple studies to help regulate the autonomic nervous system and reduce stress. Tensing and relaxing muscles through progressive muscle relaxation, PMR, is also backed by research. Studies show PMR helps reduce stress and anxiety by shifting your body from a tense state into a relaxed one. In short, when you cool down your body on the spot through slow breathing or muscle release, you regain control of what you say next. You are not just reacting anymore. That is how you stay calm when provoked. Number 4. Redirecting the right way so it does not ruin your whole day. Last night, a friend invited me to hang out with someone new. While we were chatting, that person looked at my friend and said, "The way you dress? It is giving total small-town vibes." My friend gave a half smile and brushed it off, but later that night, she could not stop replaying it. She kept quoting the exact sentence, and every time she lay down, she thought of it again. The next morning, she was still upset, still stuck in that one moment. From a psychological lens, this is how the brain reacts when self-esteem is hit. The brain treats public insults as a threat to your self-image, and it does something very primal. It rewinds to find a better response. It tries to come up with a sharper comeback, a more dignified way to handle it, to avoid embarrassment next time. But the more you rewind, the more emotion you pour into that memory. And the more emotional it becomes, the more often it resurfaces. So that one sentence, said in 5 seconds, ends up replaying in your head all day. That is why redirecting your focus helps you stay calm. It stops your brain from turning one rude comment into a full-blown drama loop. You still face the situation, but at the right time. Right now, you protect your energy and your peace of mind. Number 5. When someone tries to provoke you, understand the emotional bait pattern and choose not to play. One time, I was presenting a project to my team. I had just gone over a few points when someone cut me off with a smirk and said, "Wait, this is what you call an idea?" Sounds like filler talk. That comment was timed perfectly to throw me off in front of everyone and make me look foolish. The way he said it made it seem totally normal, like he had every right to knock me down in front of the group. From the emotional bait perspective, if I had reacted right away, I would have fallen into a very familiar pattern. Step 1. They bait you with sarcasm, or by dismissing your value in public. Step 2. You react emotionally, defending yourself, explaining, justifying, trying to save face. Step 3. They get their reward. The reward is not truth. It is power. They get to dominate the moment, steal the attention, and most importantly, control your emotions. In short, staying calm is not always about coming up with a sharper clapback to win the exchange. The more you fight back, the more you get pulled into their game. What actually helps is recognizing the bait and refusing to take it. That means you do not give them what they are trying to get from you: your attention, your time, and your emotional energy. You keep your tone neutral, respond briefly, and steer the conversation back to the topic. Like, okay, can you point out exactly what data is missing so I can add it? Or got it, I will clarify that part in the next slide. That way, you are still standing your ground, but not handing them control over your emotions in the middle of a meeting. Number 6. Communication tool. The gray rock method to cut off drama lovers' reward. One time, I was eating with my best friend and her boyfriend. She said, "Next time, do not text on the way when you are already late." I get tired of waiting. He did not apologize. He scoffed and replied sarcastically, "You always overreact. It is not even a big deal." Then added, "You are way too sensitive. Talking to you is exhausting." My friend's face froze. She blushed partly from anger, partly from embarrassment. She wanted to clap back to save face, but she was also afraid that if she did, he would spin it like she was the one starting drama in front of everyone. From a psychological angle, that moment was a form of emotional baiting to gain the upper hand in the interaction. Her boyfriend ignored the actual issue being late and instead used phrases like, "You are overreacting," or "too sensitive" to attack her pride in public. When pride is hit, it is easy to flare up and defend yourself. And if she did, he would have gotten exactly what he wanted. He would feel in control because he just made her lose composure while he played the calm one and cast her as the troublemaker. The gray rock method works here because it cuts off that exact reward. Instead of reacting emotionally or debating who is right, my friend responded blandly short, neutral, minimal. "Yeah. Okay," and then stopped. With no emotional fuel to grip onto, the sarcastic comment lost its power. He could not steer it into a full-blown argument. Later, she clearly set a boundary about what behavior needed to change, saying, "I need you to be on time. If you are going to be late, let me know in advance." That way, she still addressed the issue, but did not get dragged into a drama where the real goal was emotional control. Number 7. Real confrontation. Coming back to the issue with clear boundaries. Let us go back to the story of my coworker. A few days after that tense meeting, while he was working, someone from the team walked by and said in front of a few others, "Next time, just stay calm, do not blow things out of proportion." That sentence sounded like a friendly reminder, but given the context, it made him feel labeled as if he were the problem of the whole team. Once he had calmed down, he chose to speak privately with that person. And that is what real confrontation looks like. It is not about winning the argument. He clearly stated his boundary. "When you say things like that in front of others, I feel disrespected." Then, he made a direct request. "If you have feedback, talk to me directly, and be specific about what you want me to do differently." And he also laid out the consequence if it happened again. "If next time you say something like that in front of others again, I will end the conversation right then, and we will only continue when both of us are calm." From a psychological point of view, staying calm is not about pretending to be peaceful. It is about managing what is actually driving you at each moment: your body, your focus, and your boundaries. When your pride is hurt or someone provokes you, your body naturally kicks into defense mode. Fast heartbeat, hot face, sharp tone, and your brain narrows in on the goal of fighting back. If you speak at that moment, it is all reflex. So the first step is to create a short delay so that the reflex does not burst out. That is the pause. Then, you cool down on the spot, because as long as your body stays tense, it is hard for your reasoning to come back online. Slow breathing or muscle relaxation helps your physical state drop one level, so your tone and actions become less reactive. If the moment has already passed, but your mind keeps replaying it all day, That is the mental loop keeping your emotions triggered. Redirecting your attention in the right way helps the brain cool down, so you can set a clear time to deal with it rather than chewing on it endlessly. When someone tries to provoke you into a reaction, the stronger your response, the more they win because they get the reward, your attention, and the feeling of control. Short, neutral replies cut off that reward and keep things from escalating. Finally, staying calm does not mean you swallow it and move on. Real confrontation means coming back once you are calm, setting clear boundaries, saying what was not okay, what you want instead, and what you will do if it happens again. This is how you move from reactive to proactive. So, now we have walked through the full process of staying calm when provoked. When your body starts to heat up, pause. Cool yourself on the spot with slow breathing or muscle relaxation. If your brain keeps replaying it, redirect so it can cool down. And once you are calm, come back to the issue with clear boundaries. State what you need and what action you will take if it repeats. And if you have any questions about staying calm, setting boundaries, or dealing with a specific situation at work or in your relationships, just drop them in the comments. We will go through them together in the next videos.